Hello, we are going to take a look at mogging today. Actually a pretty fun process, but there's a lot of detailing to it. There are several programs you're going to need to have access to. Obviously, you need a World of Warcraft in order to mog because that's where it is. The other thing is you need a Curse client. This lets you download all sorts of wonderful little add-ons. There are 3 add-ons besides the obvious Mogit program that you're going to want. You're going to want Grail. You're going to want all the Mogit downloads. Quest Complete List is another one that you're going to want. And if you choose Lore Master as well. These will help you keep track of what quests you have done. Why do you need these? Because items in Mogit can be sorted by quests. Have you done the quest? Have you not done the quest? It will help you know whether or not you can get the particular item that you're looking at. So please have those downloads on Curse Client before you even try to start mogging. It just makes things a lot easier. The other thing that you're going to want is, here we go, Wowhead. Wowhead allows you to look up specific items so you can find out which quests need to be done, what level they are, if there's other items that might match the set that you're looking at. So let's start. Once you have Mogit installed, go ahead and click on the purple icon here. And if your page is, or if your screen is set up differently, you have different bars, then it might show up somewhere else, but there is a purple dot, it says Mogit. Click on it and it brings up this screen. Looks empty, that is because it is. You click on modules. You can see that there are different modules here that you can choose from. Cloth armor, leather armor, mail armor, plate armor, one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, ranged weapons, others, which includes shields, offhands, and back, in other words, your cloaks. Cosmetic things that are just additional fun pieces would include all of them, but the one that I look at most is the shirts. And so what you look at here will depend on what type of character you are playing. Mine is a hunter, so today we'll be looking at the mail armor. As you see, you click on mail and it comes up with all the different slots that you need. So we will choose mail, and we will choose, I like to start with a chest. That seems to be the first thing I always look at. You can choose whichever one you like. If you are looking for a character other than what you're actually on at the moment, what you can do, you can be on your hunter and look for something on your paladin. If you're on a blood elf, you can still look for something on a tauren. All you have to do is choose the race that you want it to look at. You can choose the gender that you want to look at. So you can see what the armor looks on each of the races. But let's go ahead and, since I'm a blood elf, I will start with the blood elf here. Again, it's under catalog, race, and gender. There's the race, there's the gender, because blood elves are just pretty that way. Preview opens up another screen, and that is where, as you look at things, you'll choose what to keep, what not to keep, and you'll set preview like so. Hit preview and it moves it over here. That way when you go to the next module, let's say we want to look at legs next, it will continue showing this shirt up top. If you don't have it under preview, you will see nothing there. So go ahead and use preview. It's important so that you can keep track of what you've looked at, what you like, what you don't like. So again, let's go to chest. The other thing that you're going to want open is filters. Show filters. That's under catalog. This is a wonderful place to be. You can search by the name of the item level, the eye level, if that's important to you. Whether you're Alliance or Horde, if you're looking for another character that is not on the Horde side or not on the Alliance side, you can always look for the opposite faction. You can choose what class you're looking for. I'm on my hunter, so it is automatic, but if I decided I wanted to look for cloth armor for my mage, I could always uncheck hunter and go to mage, priest, warlock, whatever. You can choose multiple ones, obviously, but I suggest just going with the one that is specific to the class that you are looking for, because some of the armor items, as you should well know by now, are class specific. Sources. Where do you get your items from? Drops. You can choose what type of drop it is, normal, heroic, raids, dungeons, whatnot. PvP if you're into that. Questing is my favorite. Vendors is okay, but vendors also shows PvP. Vendors, which is honor points, which I just don't do. I have no, like 25 honor points, I think. I don't do the PvP, I don't do battlegrounds, so looking at vendors is very rarely any use to me. Crafted is always nice, especially if you are a crafter. I'm a leather worker. I have a good friend who is a blacksmith though, so I quite often look under crafted items for blacksmithing as well. You cannot choose specifically leatherworking, blacksmithing, or tailoring. You can simply look for crafted. So let's go ahead and hit select none, and then you can choose the ones that you want. If you want to look for drops, which can be anywhere from a 75% drop to a 0.01% drop, which is absurd. But hey, if that's what you want to look for, you want to spend time, you don't mind spending time farming, you like having the additional options, go right ahead, choose it. I don't. I don't like farming over and over and over, except for like, okay, 2 pieces I've done that with, but that was for the heartstring bow, which is beautiful, and crafted. So I have chosen 2 things. It will limit my choices. However, I think for the tutorial that I'm doing here, it will be sufficient to show you what we can do. Quality. You cannot mog with poor, you cannot mog with common. Except, of course, with shirts, which you're not really mogging, you're just wearing it. So I always uncheck those so I don't have things that I cannot mog with show up. Bindings doesn't matter to me because I'm going to be wearing it. I don't care if it is bind on equip, bind on pickup. Some people care because they're looking for items to sell or send to their other characters, in which case binding would be important. Now, chest type is the chest armor is the only one that has where you can choose tunic or robe. I wish they had this on the pants so I could choose pants or skirt, because I don't wear skirts, but you can't. But in the shirt section you can choose whether you want to look for just the tunics, which is the short shirts, or the robes, which is, well, dresses. I can't stand them. You can also search by items that are already in your inventory. Now mind, if you have void storage, this will not look in your void storage. This will only look in your bags and your bank. If it is not in your bags or your bank, it will not acknowledge it. I have a lot of stuff in void storage, and so this one is virtually useless to me right now. But if you don't have void storage, you don't use void storage, whatever it is, it's a good thing to use if you're wanting to look for items that you can use that you already have. Okay, so that's a basic overview of the screens. So let's go ahead and get started with putting a MOG together. Now, there are several different ways that you can search, and that's with sorting. That's under catalog, sorting. You can sort by the level of the item. It'll start with level 100 if you happen to be 100. If your character is a level 20, then it will only go up to level 20 unless over here you specify that you want to look to level 100. If you have a level 20 character but you want to look for things for future reference, change the level range, please. So you can search by level of the item. You can search by color. Click. Okay, it is now sorted by color. However, you can change what color it looks for. Click here, and you have this wonderful little search thing here. Let's say we're looking for something green. We want it to look Irish. Ooh, look, that's a very nice green. This star up here means that it is in your wish list. It's something that I've already marked that I want. That is a very nice piece. It is done by Quest. It is in the Hellfire Peninsula. For whatever reason, I don't know why, it is not showing whether or not I've done this quest, so I'm going to have to go there. But it shows an alternative. Dreamscale breastplate is done with leatherworking. So if you right-click, you will be able to preview both items. They will look exactly the same. What will be different is when you create your preview over here and you save it. Yes, I've got quite a few saves there. save it, it will put it into your wish list, and you can choose where you want to get it from. Do you want to get it from the quest, or do you want to get it from leatherworking? So now that we have leatherworking one clicked, you hit preview, and there you can see it now shows Dream Scale breastplate rather than the aerodynamic scaled vest. If you've already done the quest and there's other options, whether it be drops or other professions, then you can go ahead and right click and choose where you want to get your item from. Okay, so we have our green shirt. We can scroll through and say, is that the green shirt that I want? This is a very nice one. It's a quest, but as you can see, I've already completed it. Chances are I already have that item somewhere in my bank as well. Turtle scale breastplate, I have actually not created yet. I probably should. But it's a very nice, pretty green, but it's not quite the bright one that I'm looking for today. As you can see, that's not perfect sorting because they have these not really even green colors before obviously green colors. It's not a perfect sorting, but it helps. And you just use your mouse scroll on the picture here, and it'll scroll through all the different items. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with this first one here just to show you what I am creating. Then again, once you pick your shirt, you hit preview so it comes over here and you can save the outfit for later. Then you go back to your modules because you now want to look for pants. So you go over here and you say, I want to look at the legs. And yes, she's got very nice legs, thank you. Okay, not very good matches, but they do have green in them. Let's see if we get, okay, no, still sort of green. And as you can see, this one here, again, has two quest ones I could choose, or leatherworking. So again, that would be a right click, choose the one that you want, and preview puts it over here. But I don't want that one because it does not match the shirt. And I scroll through, and I scroll, and I scroll, and I'm not finding a match. Chances are the matching piece will be in a drop, but sometimes you can find pieces, even though they're not a perfect match, they're items that, you know what, it kind of almost matches. It's got green, it looks kind of similar, but that's up to you if you want to mix and match colors. That's all good and good. Right now I'm looking for a specifically green outfit, and I'm not having any luck, which sucks, especially for this purpose. Let's see if we can find anything that might work. And I am not finding it. So let's go ahead and change. I could always come over here if I was stuck on green and I didn't care about how long it would take me to farm it. I hit drop. That increases my chances of getting a match. And there it is. There's the match. I can tell you Breakwater leggings are difficult to find. It's a 0.0 something, 0.07, 0.02, something absurdly low drop rate. If you really want to farm it, go right ahead. And just for these purposes, we will go ahead and select preview. It's actually a very cute little set. Now we need we got the legs, we got the shirt. So we go back over here to modules. We go up to mail and we choose what section we want to look for next. Feet, waist, hands. I don't use wrists. They typically don't show very well unless you're using very short gloves. But most of my gloves tend to come up to almost the elbow, so having the wrist is rather pointless because they don't show up anyway. So I will go ahead and look for feet next. Oh, actually I like that. Again, it's not a perfect match. It doesn't go with these pieces. It's not Dream Scale. It's not Breakwater. But as you can see, the greens are nice. The blues and greens always match. Well, not always, but typically. These are the ones that it's intended for, Breakwater. But I'm not going to go with those because I don't like having the bare leg. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to say I want this. So now I have options. I can go with pure green gloves, or I can go with ones that have a little bit of blue-green in them. It's just a matter of what you want. So I go over here to mail, I go to hands, and that's more purple. I'm not really looking for purple since there's no purple in the shoes. You could go with it. It would, well, technically match. Blues and purples do match, but it's not what I'm looking for. This could work. It is from a quest. Those gloves could very well work. In order to zoom, you can do one of two things. You can come over here and use your mouse wheel. Zoom in, zoom out with the mouse wheel. If you come over here and you want to zoom in and out, left click on your mouse. Up goes in, down goes out. You can set it to wherever you like. The other mouse movement, to turn it, again, left mouse button, and pull and pull. You can turn it around that way. Now if you use excuse me, the right mouse button and you move it, you'll move it up and down and over without actually turning it. So right mouse button moves it up, down, right and left. Left mouse button turns it and positions it as you want to see it. So let's go ahead and continue looking by scrolling down through the green gloves to see what we want. Okay, here's another option that would match. The gold not so much, because the gold really doesn't go with the blue. Let's see here. The gold could work. It's not a perfect match to the blue. Let's see if they have anything that's a closer match. I'm not finding any luck. So this is why you want to have the, sorry, one second, brain fart here. Here we go. Wowhead open. The set that I'm looking at, let's look at, I want something that kind of matches these boots. So they're icy scale boots. So I go to here and I put in icy scale boots and search. Because I want to see what items are in the set and if there's any other matches that might be available. I like Wowhead for this purpose. It tells me icy scale boots. Here it is mail armor. It is from leatherworking, but we already knew that. Now this here, this item is part of the following Transmog set. And as you can see, the gloves are blue. There's no green to them. So that wouldn't really match well with what I'm wanting to go for. Sometimes, if you click here on the transmogrified with, it will show, okay, this one only shows pants. Not what I'm looking for. But sometimes you can find good items or thoughts down there. Sometimes if you look in comments, it will say, you know, what other items you can use. It'll tell, you know, what other people have mogged it with. But that, oops, sorry, that's not happening today. So basically you just go with whatever matches closest to what you're going for. And so I'm going to continue to scroll through. That would be an option there. Not bad, honestly. It doesn't have any of the blue, but it does have the green. It matches the pants, it matches the shirt, it does match the boots, again without the blue. Black Fathom Depths is where you get it for a drop, probably best. As you can see, it has a check mark here. Check mark means I already have it in my inventory, which makes it nice to have. Alright, so I'll hit that preview. And we will continue on with shoulders. Again, you hit modules, mail, mail, shoulders. and you find the nice piece that you want. No, looks more like turtle scale to me. Ooh, there's a couple possibilities there. I hate to think how low that drop rate is. It's a little bit light. Let's see if we have anything darker. Again, the match does not have to be perfect. If you find something that has a similar look and you think will match nicely enough, certainly go ahead and choose it. However, I would suggest not going something absurd like this unless that's what you're going for. So let's go ahead and look for the greens. It's a drop thick scale shoulder pads. Doesn't have the look that I'm going for though. It's more of, to me that's more druidic, but again, a personal opinion there. Bastion of Twilight. I'm curious now what the drop rate is on these shoulders. I want to see how long it would take me to farm them. So I look up I can't even pronounce that, this mantle in Wowhead. It's here. Go to Wowhead. Which, forgive my slow computer, is stalling. F-E-L-U. Ah, here we go. See, pulls up the mantle. It's in Bastion of Twilight. It has a 15% drop. It's not the worst drop in the world. It's not the best, but it's a level 85 raid, which I should be able to, I can easily solo. 15% drop. I can only do it once a week. However, I can have a fairly decent chance of getting it within a reasonable amount of time. So, go back over here, say, I'll think about it. I'm not particularly decisive unless I really sit there and go, wow, which nothing is making me go wow on this set. Since I'm not finding anything right off, again I'm going to hit Wowhead, but I'm going to use the name of the shirt. I'm going to say Dreamscale Breastplate, seeing what other MOG items people have come up with and have listed here. And we're waiting. Dreamscale Breastplate, it is from Leatherworking. We already knew that. We don't need to look at the recipe. Okay, this is from the Brackwater set. This is the alternative. As you can see, this set comes with pants, shirt, and leggings. That's it. However, they do have Transmogrified with. Come on, finish loading. I want to see what that looks like. Try refreshing, see if it'll pull it up. No, it's going to be stupid. Okay, so the feathery ones are probably about the best match I'm going to get because I'm not going to use the Dragonstalker shoulders for this set. Let's see what it says here about this Harlan's shoulders. What does it look like? What does it do? Is it available in game still? Why do they not show a picture of it? Drop chance 6.2, not great, but it's feasible. Now here it says an 18% drop. Scarlet Halls, not bad, but what does it look like? Ack! Really? That's what they want me to mog that green with? I don't think so. Okay, so thick scale shoulder pads. The thick scaled shoulder pads are what I'm going to go ahead and go with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the, as I said, with the thick scale shoulder pads. Go back to World of Warcraft, go ahead and choose those. And if you want, you can go ahead and look for a cloak or helm. I typically don't show my helms anyway, but I will go ahead and show you how to look for the back piece, because you see in the mail it does not have back because back is not mail, back is cloth. But it's not just for cloth users, so they have it listed under other. Hello, hello. I like that green. But it does not have any blue in it. Let me see if I can have anything. Nope. Ack. Nope. And again, you just sit here and you scroll until you find what you're looking for. And I'm guessing that the top ones were probably my best bet, although that's not bad and it's something I already have in. Doesn't really go with the boots, not in my opinion. Most people would probably say it's a nice match. I already have it. I'm just going to keep looking. Possible? It's not bad. It would incorporate some of the blue. It does do the green. It would incorporate the gray of the shoulder pads and the kind of feathery look. That is a definite possibility there. In this case, I'm probably going to go ahead and go with... Ooh, that's a longer version. Let's see what I like. I do like that. Ah, and it's a quest that has not been completed in Nagrand. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done. Oh, we still need a belt, and we need to look at weapons as well. So let's go ahead real quickly, go through, again you go to modules, mail, waist, to look at the green. That is a drop. I don't want that. If possible, I can avoid it. Drop. Not thrilled with drops right now. Soldier's girdles, a drop. Drop. I want to see if I can find anything that's not a drop. Do I like that? Is the question. Well, let's see what the drop rate is, and that'll tell me if I like it or not. C-O-B-R-A. C-O-B-R-A. Hood, gloves, I don't see it. C-O-B-R-A. H-N. H-N. Boots, grasp. That's the belt. And this says it is a 29% drop, so yes, I like that. Again, this is just to give you a basic idea of how this works using the different programs. Again, the quest complete is what tells me whether or not I've done the quests. Lore Master also helps, as does a couple of the other questing add-ons. I like to get a full idea of whether or not I've done something, if it's worth my going through and looking for the item. The nice thing is that with the Legion, mogging is going to change, and you're going to have access to items that you might have obtained through quests but did not keep because you did not realize that mogging was so important, and believe me, mogging for me is important. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a little bit of blue here, I've got blue down here, got a little bit of blue back there, I've got lots of green, I've got the gray in the shoulders, I've got gray in the back, got a little bit of gray down here, not much. So I think this is a pretty well matched set. Now I need something to fight with. So again, we go to modules. If you are a shield user, you're going to look for your shields in under other. If you do two-handed weapons, you look here. One-handed weapons are here. Again, you can choose daggers, fists, mace, swords, or axes. depending on pole arms and staves if you're looking for two-handed. I am ranged, though. I use bows. You can look for crossbows, guns, and wands, since wands are also ranged, even though I don't get the point of them. I prefer bows over crossbows or guns, so I'm going to look for a green bow. And of course the standard, but it doesn't really match for what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find exactly what I'm looking for, though that one could be an interesting look. It's a little bit bulky for my taste. Again, it's a personal preference there. Mogging is a very big personal preference. It shows a lot about your personality, I think, in what you do for mogs. I like clean looks. This is an interesting bow. I actually own this one. It doesn't show it because it is in void storage, but I do have it. I just don't consider it very bowish, but hey, for the purposes of this mog, it could work. Let's see here. I do have this bow. The reason why it does not show, I actually have the taut driftwood bow. Why does it not show? Again, because it is in void storage. But I happen to know what I have. Yeah, I'm not finding anything that really... This could work. Drop Paladin Black Bow of the Betrayer. Let's see what the drop rate is on this. Black Bow of the Betrayer. This has a drop rate of 17%. Black Temple, it is a raid. You can only go in weekly. However, 17% is a decent drop rate. It is not going to be impossible to find. It's not a 0.02% drop. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that is a nice bow. It will go nicely with the mog set that I'm creating. So I'll hit preview, and as far as I'm concerned, that is a completed mog. I could go into male headpieces, but I really don't like hiding her face. If I had a different hairstyle, I could see that there is a piece here going across the forehead. I could have something that just covers up the front part of her face, but I'm sorry, I like looking at my characters. I could be able to see them. I think that's a drop. I think I'm just going to skip the headpiece. But again, it's the same thing. If you find something you like, you right click, you hit preview, put it over here. Now, you've got the items that you want. You want to save it so you can look at it later as you're questing, or doing your leatherworking or blacksmithing or whatever you happen to be doing. So you hit save. You hit click on new set, and you put in a name. For this name, I'm going to call it Green Male. Green because that is obviously the color, male so that I know it is for my hunter. Alright, so you now have a completed mog. You can close this, you can close that, and continue on with your day. Now, say you're in the middle of questing and you want to find out, okay, now I remember that there was a quest I needed to do. What piece was I looking for? Again, you go into Mogget, hit preview, show previews. You hit load. This happens to already show what I was working on. But as you can see, I can go into any of my other characters, all on the different realms that I have, and they all have different pieces. But I want to look at my green male. Now let's say I want to look at a different one though, that is not on this character. I want to go to... look at my purple cloth. I have a very nice purple cloth. Boom. There it is. That's another set that I've created. I can also say I want to look at green robes. Ooh, Pretty, 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 pretty. I actually didn't make this one for myself. I created this one for a friend. I wrote down all the different pieces that she would need so that she would know what to go for. And she was really pleased with what I came up with. Some of these drops are absurdly low, but hey, she was happy with it. I'm happy for her. So again, you can go ahead and hit load, go into your other profiles if you don't see what you're looking for, load it up, see what it is. You can still go ahead and search for, oh, this is my dream MOG. Firelands, Masterwork Pauldrons, which I own, engraved breastplate I need to look for. I've got just about everything else except I think I still need to get the Magnificent Leggings and the Crown of Flame, but otherwise I have that MOG. I just need to get the last couple pieces and I will have one of the nicest looking fire MOGs you've ever seen, or at least so in my opinion. Alright, so that is transmogging. There is the next part. Once you have the set that you want, going in and actually going to the transmogrifier and using that process. Okay, so here we are in Pandaland. We are in the shrine, and we went to the transmogrification room, which is where we actually do our mogging. As you can see, we have the transmogrifier here and our void storage here. Void storage holds most of my mogging needs, but we don't need that. We need the transmogrifier. The transmogrifier will use any of the items that we have in our bank, in our bags, or in our void storage. So come up here to do your transmog. Right click on him. As you can see, this will show all the items that you can mog, and has wonderful little arrows here so you can pull up the items that you're going to be looking for. Now, since I typically don't use helms, I'm not going to be using that for this one. Now, if you'll also see, you can use these little buttons up here to move your character around, or you can use the normal push-pull method with your mouse. Zoom in, zoom out with the mouse scroll, or you can use the buttons, whichever one you like better. Here we have sets, and if you happen to use Mogget and you have under the show previews you have your save sets, then you will be able to use a nice easy method of using sets. You can just pull up sets. You say I want to use guess what? I don't have any of the ones I can use here because I have not actually gathered all of the items for all of these MOGs. So I'm going to have to do this the long way, but if you happen to have all of the items from the sets that you've been creating in Mogget, then you can simply say I want this MOG and it will put all the pieces where you need it and you'll hit apply. Since I'm not smart enough to do that, I have to do this longhand, but that's okay because it will show you another method. Here we will start with the shoulders, and when I click on the yellow arrow, it pulls up all of the shoulders I have in all of my areas, the bank, the void storage, and my bags. As you can see, I've got quite a few. I decide on which look I'm going for, and for this one I will go with one of my favorites, which I actually have on my absolute favorite currently, but I need to show you how this works. Ooh, pretty. Okay, I will admit I do have one tier set that I'm working on, and that is the Dragon Stalker set because it is just too cool. But for now, I will go with my Fell Scale MOG. And if you'll give me 1 second, please. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with my Fell Scale MOG. It's a very nice one. I can actually have two different setups for this one. I can use the larger shoulders that you see here, or I can use these smaller shoulders that you see here. Which one I use this depends on whether or not I will use the shirt underneath to cover it, because this does not cover the shoulders nicely. It's not all nice and curved. So I think I will go with the one without the shirt for this time, so I will use the shoulder guards. And as you can see, this now started glowing. That's fine. Go ahead and click the arrow again to minimize that. I typically don't use cloaks. I could, but why? Shirts, or not shirts, chest pieces. Go ahead and click the arrow, and I need to look for my fell scale shirt. And you'll have to forgive me, I do call them shirts rather than chest pieces. It's just my thing because I so rarely use shirts. Fell scale, there we go. And as you can see, the shoulders that I'm going to be using are not the same, are not fell scale, but that's okay because they match nicely enough. Again, you don't have to have perfectly matching sets. So let's go ahead and find the gloves here. And unfortunately, because I have so many and I don't have the sets set up, which would make this a lot easier, I do suggest doing it. Fortunately, I created the fell scale set on a different character, so I didn't save them to this one. So I have to do the hunt and search method, which is not the most convenient way of doing this. Let's see here. I don't think there's actually a fell scale belt, so I'm tempted to go ahead and keep the one I have on here because I do like that kind of skull look. So I think I'll go ahead and leave that alone for now, which will save me gold because this does cost you gold for every item you mog, which can get very expensive very quickly, trust me. Okay, fell scale. And boots. Skeletronic, no. As you can see, I've got quite a few here. Guardians. Where are they? I know I've got the fell scale boots. There they are. Okay. And then I need a bow. I can use that one. You see, I've got anything else I'd prefer using. Yes, the only gun in the entire game that I will willingly use. I prefer the bows much more strongly to the guns, or I won't use I've never seen a crossbow that I like. But again, personal preference, I like the bows, but I do have one gun, and that is just mean looking, isn't it? So, let's go ahead and use that. And once you have your mog looking exactly the way you want, hit apply. I'm spending 156 gold, 59 silver, and 45 coppers to look fabulous. And that is now a wonderfully mogged me. Scroll in here so you can see. Hey look, don't I look fabulous? Yes I do, thank you very much. Alright, so that is mogging. Again, you can use Mogget to create just about any method, any style you like. It depends on how much time you are willing to put into your mogs, because I am lazy with my mogs. I don't do drops unless I just happen to come across something that happens to drop as I'm questing or going through looking for quests, or if I'm helping somebody else quest, or going through dungeons looking for cloth. I get a lot of wonderful drops from that. I do a lot of dungeon runs, mostly for cloth, for one of my other characters that is a tailor. So dungeons are a great place if you happen to be farming something else to run across some of these more rare drops that I wouldn't otherwise look for. Anyway, I hope that helps you out. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me in game, and I will leave my B tag down below. Please send me a PM in game letting me know where you found me, what site, what page, whatever it happens to be. Thank you, and have a great day.